What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the market so far as we have more data coming out at 9:45 a.m. and what the trends are suggesting, in my personal opinion. But just notes that I'm not a financial planner, and then don't forget to smash the like button. Anyways, when it comes to Tesla, I just want to say that right now we are forming a very, very nice looking structure. We're looking at this resistance at this 225 area. I think Tesla will pump all the way to there. We're not too far from it right now, and if we do break this, we could get very close to the highs from the highs that we ended up seeing on Tuesday. Now, even though Tesla may continue to push a little higher, we have to be a little bit careful because once the market reaches those all-time highs, that's where you want to be very, very careful with how high the market could go and also what kind of moves we get. So I want to talk about that over the next couple of minutes. Just notes that for today, we just got initial jobless claims. This was below the consensus in the forecast. It was at 232,000. So that is once again below what we were expecting, at least for the most part. And then continuing jobless claims was a little bit below expectations too. This is showing signs that the jobs data, at least for the week, is not too bad, and the market's still liking it. That's why the market's still holding up and pushing. And then at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have some very important data coming up with the PMI reports for the S&P Global Composites, Manufacturing, and Services PMI. So look for some volatility at that time. And then at 11 o'clock a.m., we have some minor data coming out. We have some manufacturing numbers, followed by some bill auctions. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing else that's too crazy coming out. But look for some volatility at 9:45 a.m. once this data is released. Now, right now, the market is thinking we're going to most likely get that 25 basis point cut. And we will get a cut, especially after the FOMC minutes release yesterday suggests that. That's why the market was pushing and still pushing as I speak. As far as Tesla goes, there's some news coming out that Tesla's going to be launching a new feature. Tesla's finally about to launch its most delayed features, which is the actually smart summon, or the ASS. It's for vision-based vehicles. Tesla's basically going to be doing something very, very different. So its driver assist system is not only just going to be working on cameras, they're gradually bringing back a new system, the Smart Summon, which is the ability for Tesla vehicles to navigate parking lots autonomously without a driver inside of the vehicle. And Tesla is once again working on this. This is something that Elon Musk is talking about as well. I think it's very, very cool. And they're also going to be incorporating something very similar to that of Optimus. So they have a lot of deadlines, a lot of goals for the end of the month. And that's something that they're working on right now. It's very, very cool stuff. I think it's very, very cool that this could be a very, very cool function, and it could incentivize a lot more buyers to step in. There are some risks involved in this. I will talk more about that in a later video, but I still think it's cool, at least for the long term. Looking at some more news, the U.S. Transport Safety Board is opening an investigation of what happened involving a Tesla crash in California because of what happened involving the semi truck. There's one that basically crashed and caught on fire, so now there's going to be a big investigation for that. Hopefully, they find something very interesting about that, and it doesn't lead to anything too serious for Tesla. But nonetheless, I do wish the best for anyone involved and within the whole situation. For Peloton, they just announced earnings. We also had a few more come out. We have more coming out after the market closes. Peloton shares are up more than 10% because the turnaround plan takes a hold. Not bad whatsoever. Their loss per share was below what we were expecting. So it's actually not too bad. So that's actually a good piece of news. The loss per share wasn't as bad. And then their revenue is above expectations. And their guidance was not bad whatsoever as well. So that's the reason why the share price is up right now. I think that's a good piece of news. So what do I see for Tesla? I think we're going to be pushing for this 225 resistance. And if we break this, we could push a little bit higher to about 228. I think that there is a good chance we might attempt to pump. With the data coming out, that might help Tesla push a bit. So look for some more upside as we open and for the first couple of hours of the day. But then as time goes on, we'll see if Tesla can maintain above 228. If we break 225, look for 228. If we hold above that, we're going to be going to this high up here into the 230s. And if we end up losing 222, look for 220, followed by 217. Share price is going to try to push to 225, so see if we could break that. And then once we get the data, we may attempt to break that and go a little higher because the market's trying to push. But temporarily, we're going to be pushing. It's not going to last forever. You want to be very careful once we approach this gap fill and the all-time highs near 565. So I think SPY is going to be pushing a couple of points towards all-time highs, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get once we get there. So look for some upside on SPY, and we'll see what kind of move we make. If we lose 560 in the morning, we will be dipping back down, but I don't think that's going to happen. I favor that we're going to be pushing all the way up to about the all-time high. I think SPY is going to be pushing all the way up there, and then we'll see what kind of reaction we get. If we get a dip or not. So watch for that. There might be a lot of volatility, a lot of shop once we get there. For Nvidia, we are back to 130. I think we're going to be pushing for the 132 area. If we could break 130, and then if that breaks, we push even higher to much higher levels like 135. If we reject off this resistance at 130, we could be dipping back down towards 120, the 126 area. My guts tells me this is looking more bullish, and we favor the upside, at least moving forward for now. So look at 130 to 132 as resistance. We'll see if Nvidia could push through this. We may push for a bit, and then we'll see what kind of reaction we get, because it is going to be a tough resistance. So once again, for Nvidia, we're going to push towards resistance. We'll see if we reject or not, or if we can push through it. For now, we look a little bit more bullish, but give it some time. I just want to clarify that. Bitcoin is pushing up to about the 61,000 area. We'll see if we reject and return to 60,000 or not. We're just shuffling. We could push a little bit on Bitcoin, then we'll see if we see a move back down. For ES, we're bullish. We're testing 56, 55 right now. It is possible we try to break this resistance again a little bit higher up towards that 5,700 area, but then we'll see if we get a rejection or not. So watch 5650's resistance and 5680 and 5700. So watch those three resistances. We'll see how we end up reacting to them. I do think we might push a little bit more. To turn bearish, you want to see us basically lose 5620. This chart's still favoring upside, so I do think we might try to push past resistance and continue this nice pump. For the QQQ, we have 485 as resistance. If we break past 485, then there could be a pump coming all the way up to these higher levels, such as around 486. But watch resistance on the QQQ. We'll see how well we end up reacting here. If we break that high, we're going up to 488, and our support is currently at 482, not to mention 480. The share price is looking bullish, so look at 485 to see if we break that. If that does break, we'll be pushing to about 488. So watch and see if we break. We're still looking more bullish. Apple's doing a good job. We're at 227.5. We are trying to push higher. If we hold above the 227s, we could be approaching 230. And if we lose 226, look for a dip. Right now, we're looking a little bit more bullish on Apple. I think we could push higher for the time being. I'll be watching to see how well we end up reacting to these resistance levels. So I'm looking at 228, and then if that breaks, we'll get very close to this imbalance fill towards 230. We look bullish on Apple for now, and we'll see if things shift. For the IWM, we're looking for this gap fill at 216. Like I said yesterday, look for a push for 216 to 217. If you reject off that area, look for a dip back down to 213. If we break past 218, we're going to turn very bullish. Look for a little bit more upside at 216 to 217 and see what kind of reaction we get. For Amazon, as long as we hold above 180, I think 184 is coming. If we lose 180, we're going to be dipping back down to 177. So watch for that. We do look more bullish. Just for now, Coinbase may attempt to get very close to 209, and we'll see if we can break resistance there or not. If that does break, we're going up to 212. If you reject, we're coming back down to 202. This looks a little bit more bullish. We could be looking for 209. For Meta, we look more bullish. We could be pushing for 540. We'll see if this breaks or not. I think we may attempt to pump, so give that a little bit more time, but overall it's doing a good job. Microsoft is also looking at resistance at this 425 area, and we have supported 421. We're stuck in the middle. I think we may test 425, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get. For Google, we're trying to push a little bit higher, so we're bouncing off our 20 EMA. This imbalance may feel taking us to 169, so we'll see what kind of reaction we get. But it looks a little bit more bullish, and we'll see how we respond. So I was expecting this yesterday, a little bit of a push. Then we'll see how things go. So for Tesla, anticipate some upside upon open, and then look for some high volatility at 9:45 a.m. The charts look kind of bullish right now, so we are favoring upside as we approach this data. And then we'll see what kind of reaction we get. For now, the charts are pushing, but just know once we get to those all-time highs, you want to be very careful with Tesla and the whole market once SPY approaches its all-time highs. Same thing with the QQQ. So be patient for that, guys. I just want to say I appreciate you guys so much for listening. Have a great day. Anticipate some upside, watch resistance, and we'll see how things go. We're not going to pump forever. Make sure you're very careful as we get close to those all-time highs. We'll see if we get a rejection or not. But for now, the charts are bullish, so we're just going to play what the chart is telling us for now. With that being said, I'll give you guys another update if something happens. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in a few hours, and peace out.